Was John Lennon a bad person or a good one? Well, we're here to find out. Welcome back. I'm Ella and I love bragging about music, fashion, especially the Beatles, art, and books. So, we're going to talk about the most controversial musician of all time and probably the most revolutionary one, which is Lennon. It all started back in the 60s when he said in an interview that they were bigger than Jesus. He said, I don't know what will come first, rock and roll or Christianity. To be honest with you, he was right. At the time, the Beatles were even bigger than Jesus. So he wasn't lying about it. What he did was telling the truth, which he kept telling the truth until he died. I'm going to tell you about what I think, about rumors, about John Lennon himself, and about his death. But we begin with this statement that he did. First of all, it was the press. Do you believe the press? I don't believe the press, to be honest. What they did is what they are still doing right now, only to get publicity. And it was cut like a statement he said in an affirmation he said in this interview. But he said the truth. So I don't know why people found it so controversial. And this was, I think, the beginning of the ending, because people started burning their vinyls, their merch. But to be honest, it only did good to the Beatles. Because you have to buy first the merch to set it on fire. You can't destroy what you don't have. So then the Beatles took a break. People thought it would be the end of them, but it came back even more powerful. And at this time, it was rumored that Paul McCartney died in a car accident. And if you're curious to know more about this Paul McCartney's dead theory, which I'm not going to talk about in this video because it is only for Johnny, you can check this out. I did quite a few months back, but it's everything you need to know about the theory and also my thoughts of it. Then by this time, Brian Epstein died, which I think is what caused the Beatles to break up, not Yoko Ono. People stop blaming Yoko. I mean, I'm not a Yoko fan. But I don't hate her. She's like, okay, I'm neutral. I don't have a specific thought. If John loved her, that's it. Yoko Ono is not responsible for the Beatles breaking up. I'm sorry if you are a fucking old man here, hating on Yoko Ono. Please go and fuck yourself and just leave this video alone, because this video is for the younger generation, the ones that just started learning about the Beatles, the ones that have an unhealthy obsession for it. But it's not unhealthy, believe me. I just love it. The Beatles saved my life. I was in 9th grade, a little bit like a story time right now. I was in 9th grade and I had this really tough time. I was struggling a lot with depression and anxiety and self-harm, and I was at the point where at the edge, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life anymore. And that was the time when the Beatles came into my life. They were like that lightning, and they helped me with music, and through their music they helped me a lot, becoming who I am and being here, even not becoming, but actually being able to keep on living. And it helped me a lot. The end with my life story that it's kind of boring and probably you don't want to know about because you commented this video and want to know about more about John Lennon. And we have to say and to mention, honorable mention to McLennan, which I am a part of this cult. I preach Lennon. I live for Lennon, yeah. Even though people don't ship them, I do. Definitely, there was something going on there. Because, for real, how do you sleep? Too many people. You know, friendship starts and ends, but I don't think it was only a friendship, because the dynamic, people, the dynamic. Also, watch Get Back. Please watch Get Back. And there are some you can watch and see the dynamic, not only for the group but only Lennon. It was once, if I remember right, and I know my mind is not playing tricks on me right now, when Paul or John said, I think Paul it was, and they were playing Oh Darling, and it was like one of them said, oh, it's like we're lovers. And then in an interview later, when Paul said he was asked by an interviewer if he knew if John Lennon was a homosexual, and Paul said, "Well, I don't know. I've slept with John a lot." What does it mean, Paul? What does it mean? That wasn't the question.
I mean, all I can ever say about that is I slept with John a lot. A lot.
Hey, look at John, will ya? What's the matter, John, love? Blue meanies? John, love.
Whatever, snapping out of it. And yeah, I do believe in Lennon, and it's definitely a fair ship. Just as Harrison and Dylan. I don't know, but teenagers nowadays who are into good music, no hate to anybody, but who are into good music, we love shipping old or dead musicians. No further ado. Then it comes. People can't be only good or only bad. We all have our pros and cons and good things and bad things that we do, and that don't define us, you know, because we're a combination of good and bad, of, you know, and you can't say that John Lennon was a bad person or a good person. I once remember I did a project for my psychology class, and we had free will to do whoever we wanted, and I picked John Lennon, and then at the end of the class, at the end of the presentation, I had to get feedback from the class, and it was this one girl with which this teacher agreed, and she was like, "Why do you idolize an abuser?" Like, what the fuck, girl? One, John Lennon was not an abuser. I mean, she didn't abuse Cynthia. She didn't. He didn't. He didn't abuse Cynthia. He was an absent father. Yeah, but he tried to remake this connection with his son Julian at the ending of his life, like in the late 70s, early 80s. And, you know, he was absent from his family, but he was never an abuser. And stop saying that if you do, because he was not. And I will still think about it, you know. And taking into account everything, I think he brought more to this world. And he was such a revolutionary person, you can't say, you know, he was a great musician. And also his music and his art, you know, art is a reflection of our mind, and he was amazing. And now we get to the point, because I don't want to make this video so long and brag a lot about Beatles, even though I love them so much. We come to the end of his life. He was like 40, and it was like 8th December 1980 when he was murdered. I'm going to say something quite controversial right now. If you don't agree with me, argue with the wall. No, for real right now. I think, and don't say that I'm mad or insane, I think he was murdered by the government. No, really, what I'm talking right now, yeah, that person who killed him, I'm not going to say his name, he was nuts. You have to be like, you know, but at the same time, I think he was put by the government to kill him because he was so revolutionary, John Lennon, and he could put in, you know, a lot of people, and he spoke the truth. He spoke the truth. Working Class Hero, one of my favorite songs, and I recommend listening to it. Working Class Hero, yeah, give me some truth. For real, he literally said, pay-headed politicians, you know, and he was spreading peace and love and the war, you know, and the government, they didn't want that. They wanted to put people against each other, just like they want now. They wanted, what they actually want now is nothing changed. We're not talking about the 60s or the 70s. We're talking about now, what is happening now in the world. They wanted to make us against each other. They wanted fear. They wanted war. And if the people were united, if they had if they had a leader like John Lennon, not especially John Lennon, they were united. There could have been peace, you know, but the government didn't want that. They wanted to rule the world. Read these two books. And yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He was the leader the people needed. And he was taken too early from this world because he spoke the truth. That's why. Because he wanted to do something with this world. Because he wanted to open people's eyes. And the government didn't want that. You know, he was like this verse that I love, completely love, and I think is so accurate and relatable in Strawberry Fields Forever. Living is easy with eyes closed. Misunderstandings, all you see. What can you add more? Nothing. Okay, so this is the end of our video. Hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you learned more about John Lennon, the fandom, and yeah, everything. And lots of love and peace and love.